I appear and disappear. Is you seeing clear? Look at my melanated skin. Is you seeing fear? You see black mothers crying. Do you shed a tear? Another boy lost, another case gets tossed. They say look to the good book, but all it is a good book. You find yourself when you have nowhere to look. It seems like every day we reminded of black death due to violence, and I will not be silent on the circumstances of our environment. We need strong lions and lioness to stop the genocide. You thinking, who am I? I just rep being melanated with pride, while the rest of y'all running high. I know you dying inside. That self-hatred got you trying to scrub the ground away. You know what I see when I look at my face? I see a God. I see Mansa Musa. I see Hannibal. And we see who are the real animals. Mr. Overseer, I'm not a believer. I'm just Drake Cobb, the seeker of the truth. Manifested when I step in the booth. Hands up, they ready to shoot. It's an uprising. They ready to loot. They don't hear us. They got us on mute. Look at the picture and the way they frame us. Like we out here living dangerous. Looking for hands out from strangers. Give them a badge. They out here playing laser tag. You might find yourself in a body bag. You fear what you don't understand. How they got the God's power in their hands. You see me, how I got the God's power in my skin. We were here in the beginning and still here in the end. The last of a living breed. And the youth don't even live by a creed. All they know is how to feed on death and destruction. Your mind's still on that slave auction. Cause you bought in. What's fear when the police is hunting us down? What's fear when your brother is gunning you down? What's fear when the government got you on lockdown? And the ops got guns stockpiled. About to hit your block now. Yeah.
With the pain, prayers with the grind. Trauma in my DNA, but I still realign. Roots in the dirt, spirit in the ceiling. This ain't just therapy, this that blended healing. Concrete rose, yeah, I bloom through the feeling. Tapped in the truth in these healing realms. Stitching my soul in the blended healing realms. Bless up. From the stoop to the shrine, I've been earning my life. Didn't pray for a savior, had to learn how to fight. Burning sage like incense, but my spirit don't fold. Still got pain in my pocket and this mic I hold. I ain't soft, I'm sacred, that's strength in disguise. Eye to eye with my demons, I ain't blinking this time. Broke every curse that was signed in my blood. Now I dance in the storm, make a waltz out the mud. Meditating in chaos, peace in the noise. Built a temple from trauma, turn my cries into voice. Crystals in my hoodie, cards in my palm. Yeah, I tear it through the trenches and I'm psalm through the psalms. Word.
Whispers in the wind say keep going. My past ain't changed, it's gold, I'm growing. Every wound is a prayer in disguise. I bleed truth and I rise.
I mix sage with the pain, prayers with the grind. Still trauma in my DNA, but I still realign. Every roots in the dirt, spirit in the ceiling. This ain't just therapy, this that blended healing. Concrete rose, yeah, I bloom through the feeling. Tapped in the truth in these healing realms. Stitching my soul in the blended healing realms. Blended healing realms.
A special thank you from the heart.
This is a trigger warning. You see, the sounds of sirens runs through the hood like a soundtrack nobody asked for. It cuts through the night, it shakes the day, and we all know what follows. Too often it means another body gone, another family broken, another corner covered in candles. Those candles burn longer for vigils than for birthdays. They outside. The joy was supposed to be for celebrating. And the mamas, they keep black dresses pressed like it's a part of the family uniform. Funerals become routine, like they're built into the calendar, and that's a weight no community should carry. Here's the truth. We've been carrying it anyway. Too much loss. Too many mournings swallowed by mourning. Whole generations raised inside cycles of grief. So steady that they start to feel inherited. And still beneath all that pain, there's a pulse that says, this can't be the only way. We feel it every time we see a kid smile, every time neighbors pull together after tragedy, every time the block proves it's got more heart than it's given credit for. The hood don't need another funeral. It needs life, real life. It needs corners that grow instead of corners that decay. It needs liquor stores replaced with gardens, broken schools turned into safe havens, and men steadying their sons' lives, women finally given a chance to rest. It needs space to breathe, to dream, to believe again. Because belief is what got stolen first. Belief that tomorrow is worth waking up for. Belief that mornings belong to us again. Belief that the hood deserves more than the pain on repeat. That's where this begins. With saying it plain. Refusing to keep treating death like the only story worth telling. Looking around and declaring that we've had enough. Welcome to Blended Healing. I'm doing this for several reasons. I have seen and felt the anguish of family members, mothers and fathers that are losing their children, siblings. Enough. The brokenheartedness. How life can't go on. But we have to talk about it. And this is a trigger warning. So please, if this is something that you can't bear, please don't be here. Because this is something different. This is something different. This is me holding up the mirror once again. I'm not here to be the healer today. I'm here to talk to you about this heartbreaking, gut-wrenching topic that we talk about loosely and some glorify. But there's no glory in this. Not at all. I'll be right back after this. Like I said, this is a trigger warning. I hope you got the message.
Shout out to the mama chief. Yeah, you be quiet when Big Mama speak. What she gave us is a part of me. It flows through my arteries. Even on that journey, that love grows how the garden be. The first to teach us when we sick, the first to heal us. Mama's boy, yeah, you know, my pride and joy. Soul food, yeah, you know, I'm an enjoy. Calm you down, just by the sound of a voice. There isn't another feeling inside. When they cheering you on at your game, and you feeling the pride. You and your siblings fighting, she gon' make you put the feelings aside. She can't lead you down the road, but she can give you the guide. Where you think I get that blissful look in my eyes? I need a side of ice cream with them eyes apple pie. You know for sure for Mama Chief, you know I'ma ride. Cause we all need a mama chiefs. Yeah, we all love a mama chiefs. The greatness, the patience,
This that Nickelodeon, Mary Jane and opium, fresh from the FedEx chest, we got a load of them. Yeah, tear this shit down like depression. The moral of the story is you get the lesson. I'm colder than the weather in Nova Scotia. The flow is cold to turn down. You just like the lame dude. Get the shoulder, have these niggas swinging that Chris Rock when I pitch a boulder. My intentions was ill will. When I rap, get a pill feel. I can meditate and stay connected to the earth like a mill drill. They taught you to lie to your kids with Santa. I verse in the AI now and got the answer.
Welcome back. That is the lineup for the collaboration over competition, sister and brother channels. Please make sure that you tap in. We have something going on pretty much all week. Different programming, different content, collaboration over competition. Ashe and deep bow to you, the community. Yesterday, in Poetry and Pulse, there were several poems and conversations around being tired of things. And in full transparency, this came to me. I wasn't going to go live today or share any pre-records because I had nothing else to say. But as I sat back and weighed, and then it came back to me, Michelle, you got to blend it. You got to talk about this. You got to talk about it. And as heavy as it hurts, people that are close to me, I got to shed light on it. Because this impacts so many families with real, live, in your face, primary family member ties. And it hurts. Do you know what it feels like to not be able to help somebody that you don't know what to do to help them when they're going through it? Because some of us haven't been through it and some of us has. But everybody experiences things differently and processes things differently. So on behalf of those people, please excuse them if they're not up to interacting or taking whatever advice that you have for them, because everybody suffers differently. The hood doesn't need another funeral. We need life. We need life. I need you to walk with me for a minute. Don't rush. Just look around. Do you hear that? Do you hear it? Those sirens in the distance, they don't even startle us anymore. That's how deep the sickness has settled. Sirens turned into background music. Kids playing tag on the sidewalk don't even pause when they wail by. That's not normal. Though we live like it is. No child should know the pitch of pain better than the sound of a lullaby. That's where we at. Sirens are louder than the songs out here. Let's talk about those candles. Every block got a corner full of wax and stuffed animals. You already know before you ask, somebody didn't make it home. Somebody's life got cut short, and now everybody's huddled in hoodies, holding lighters against the wind, trying to honor them the only way we know how. But it's become routine. More vigils than birthdays, more RIP t-shirts than graduation caps. That messes with the spirit. Because if every celebration comes dipped in grief, when do we actually get to live? You sit with these mothers long enough, you start to notice they tired. Not regular tired, but worn through tired. Tired of crying into black dresses, tired of pressing suits for little coffins. Black dawn turned into a uniform for the community, and it ain't because of fashion, it's because of funerals. Every time the phone rings after dark, stomach starts turning in knots. Every time a knock hits the door, they pray it's not the worst news. That kind of living will break a soul in half. And the thing is, it's easy for outsiders to point fingers to talk about crime stats and bad choices. But when you're here, when you live in it, you know the truth runs deeper. We've been surviving on scraps of resources, of hope, of systems that were never designed for us to thrive. You starve a community of options long enough, you create desperation. Desperation breeds cycles that look unbreakable from the outside, but I believe different. I believe cycles can be broken if we decide the hood deserves more than funerals. The hood needs gardens. Can you imagine that? The same lots where liquor stores feed poison and turn them into soil that feeds life. Kids running with water cans instead of ducking behind cars. Families gathering on a Saturday to pick fresh greens where there used to be glass bottles and trash. A garden ain't just food, it's hope made visible. Proof that something new can grow in a place where death tried to stake a claim. The hood needs schools that don't leak when it rains, where kids don't have to wear coats in class because the heat broke again. Teachers don't have to beg for pencils or copy paper. You want to change the direction of the community? Start with what kids see every day. Get them classrooms that look like investment instead of neglect. Let them feel like somebody actually cares if they make it. If the building is falling apart, what message does that send about their value? The hood needs men. Men who stay. Men who raise their sons with discipline and love instead of leaving them to figure it out on the streets. Men who can look at a boy in the eye and say, I got you, I see you, you matter. That kind of presence saves lives before they even reach the fork in the road. And let me not forget about the women. Because the women in the hood been carrying too damn much. They've been the mama, the daddy, the provider, the protector, the counselor, the cook, the healer, and everything at one time. Until their backs bend under the weight. They deserve rest. To breathe. Mornings without constant fight mode. And you know where at the center of all of that? It's belief. That's the hardest thing to hold on to when the block looks like a gamble. Waking up shouldn't feel like rolling dice, wondering if you or somebody you love gonna make it to the nightfall. That's how it feels to many people. When belief is gone, dreams dry up with it. If you can't believe tomorrow holds something worth living for, you settle into the cycle. And that's how despair wins. Quiet, invisible, but deadly. We got to rebuild belief. Belief that tomorrow isn't a setup. That the block can look different. That our children can grow up without burying half their friends before they're 20. That belief, that's the seed. And without it, none of the rest of this matters. With it, everything shifts. Belief turns into action. It's what somebody makes. Somebody that can go out there and start a garden. Belief is what pushes a teacher to stay late, what makes a father fight to break generational curses, what makes a mama finally put the weight down long enough to rest. My people deserve mornings, not mourning. Mornings where the blinds crack open and the sun pours in and nobody feels unsafe stepping outside. Mornings where the kitchen smells like pancakes and not stress. Mornings where the loudest sound is laughter and not sirens. Where a hammer means something that's used to build a porch and not sealing a coffin. That's the shift we need. That's the life we deserve. The hood don't need another funeral. It needs mornings. Life so loud, so steady, so undeniable that death feels like a stranger in the neighborhood. I'm telling you, that day will come when we stop accepting funerals as normal and start demanding gardens, schools, fathers, mothers, and belief as our birthright. That's the talk. That's the walk, and that's the future. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you feel me? I'll be right back.
This is not survival, this is return. You feel that? Yeah. We already home. Welcome to conversations that protect. Welcome to the blueprint. Welcome to the war room. Welcome to the rebirth. Welcome to the moment you finally say yes for real. Welcome to your journey home. We don't speak to perform, we speak to prepare. We don't hand out hope, we hand down prayers. Every word's a bomb, a blade, a blanket. This is soul armor in songs. Coming close, baby. We got you. That ache you carry, it's just your ancestors waking up in your chest. This is the welcome home. Long overdue. Breathe in the ashes, that's where you begin. The girl you were, she blessed the fire. The woman you becoming, she walks through it in gold. This is your shedding, this is your stretch, this is your return. You whispered yes, and the universe cracked wide open.
Welcome back. The journey home is a birthright. It's time to go back. And nobody likes to hear the word go back, but sometimes you need to hear it. To go back to where we were once a community, where we had to survive with each other to get by. That's what the journey home is all about. How to be self-sufficient, but in your community, helping one another. We've already are up to episode 8. This Wednesday, we're at Kel's house, continuing to talk about holistic healing. Whether it's through herbs and how to maintain our bodies, what we can do to turn this around, and what you can carry to your family members, your friends, in your community. The journey home, we already talked about not taking the bait. Everybody wants us to look at the shiny objects over here to the left when we know we should be going right to try to figure this out. It's a blueprint for 2025 going into 2026 and beyond. Goddessy of Love talked about us being our own altars and how you can actually build an altar in your own home. She talked about those things on 3 occasions. And now we're at Queen Kel's Holistic Royalty by Kel's. Next stop after that, we're going to be teaching you about water and food, sustainability. That's what the journey home is about. And if you haven't been there yet, you need to tap in, because it's not always going to be everything here. We are a community, and we're going to each stop on the leg of the people involved in this community. Please tap into Holistic Royalty by Kel's on Wednesday at 7 p.m. The link is in the chat. Ashe, you say to me, you say, Blended, how can one person galvanize a whole community? It can be done, because it starts quiet. There's no need for microphones, a spotlight, or any big announcement. Just somebody deciding enough. And that moment is the birth of a movement. Picture one person, right? Let's call them you. Walking the block, stopping to say what most people skip. How you doing? Not the quick drive-by version, but the kind that makes the old head on the porch lift their eyes and actually answer. That's trust being seated, even if it looks small, because people don't follow strangers. They follow faces they recognize. So the first step to galvanizing is let your hood see you. You show up steady until there isn't just another body on the block. You're the one who speaks, listens, and stays. From there, you pick a corner. Not the whole zip code, not the whole city, the town, just one corner. Maybe it's the busted lot with the broken glass, or the playground with the swings half rusted through. One Saturday morning, you grab a broom, maybe a trash bag, maybe some paint if you got it. You don't announce it like you're running for office. You just start. First, it's you. And then the neighbor passing by stops and shrugs their shoulders and says, "What you doing out here?" And you answer, "Just trying to make this corner look alive again." That's when they bend down to help. Next thing you know, you're not alone. People like proof more than promises. They always say, standing 10 toes down. This is where you stand 10 toes down on what you believe. Where the sight of one space is transforming. That's proof right there. Instead of talking about it, you being about it. And that corner turns into a symbol. If here can change, anywhere can. And food. Never underestimate food. One evening, set up a grill. Pull out a folding table and lay down plates of burgers or maybe some hot dogs, maybe even some peanut butter sandwiches, if that's what you got. You call it nothing fancy. Just come eat. And folks show up because food does what speeches can't. It lowers walls. Neighbors who haven't spoken in months sit at the same table. Kids laugh. Somebody brings their cousin. Somebody else brings music. That cookout becomes the glue. Next time people are asking, "When you doing that again?" And that's how gatherings are born. And you set the rhythm. Maybe you decide every Saturday morning you'll be at the same lot with a broom, or every second Friday you'll do a block movie night for kids. The key isn't about how big it can be, it's the consistency. Consistency is what people respect. When they see you show up again and again, even when it rains, even when the crowd is small, when nobody claps, that's when trust locks in. People trust rhythm. They start planning around you because they know you'll be there. And from that trust comes the momentum. And while you're doing this, you start telling the stories. Maybe it's a video on your phone of an elder who lived there for 50 years, or a picture of a little girl painting over graffiti with flowers, or a quick write-up about the team who just made the honor roll. You post it on your socials. Tack it to the community board, or just brag about it at the cookout. Those stories matter because they flip the narrative. Instead of the hood only being about crime or funerals, people start seeing themselves in the light of survival, creativity, progress. That shift in self-image. That's the gasoline on the fire. Ashe? All right. I'm trying to get through this. Thank you so much for showing up on short notice. You're appreciated more than you know. I'll be right back after this.
Shout out to the mama chief. Yeah, you be quiet when Big Mama speak. What she gave us is a part of me. It flows through my arteries. Even on that journey, that love grows how the garden be. The first to teach us when we sick, the first to heal us. Mama's boy, yeah, you know, her pride and joy. Soul food, yeah, you know, I'm an enjoy. Calm you down just by the sound of her voice. There isn't another feeling inside. When they cheering you on at your game and you feeling the pride. You and your siblings fighting, she gon' make you put the feelings aside. She can't lead you down the road, but she can give you the guide. Where you think I get that blissful look in my eyes? I need a side of ice cream with lemons apple pie. You know for sure for Mama Chief, you know I'ma ride. Cause we We all need a mama chiefs. Yeah, we all love a mama chiefs. The greatness, the patience,
This that Nickelodeon, Mary Jane and opium, fresh from the FedEx chest, we got a load of them. Yeah, tear this shit down like depression. The moral of the story is you get the lesson. I'm colder than the weather in Nova Scotia. The flow is cold to turn down. You just like the lame dude. Get the shoulder, have these niggas swinging that Chris Rock when I pitch a boulder. My intentions was ill will. When I rap, get a pill feel. I can meditate and stay connected to the earth like a mill drill. They taught you to lie to your kids with Santa. I verse in the AI now and got the answer. Don't kill yourself trying to be me with the tanner. My equal love getting blown like a blammer. I'm biased to the low comprehension, cause people claim both to get a mention. And we don't wanna hear that. Keep that over there. Gotta do better. That's if you knew better.
Welcome back. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the content creators in the COC as well as the network. It's not just about music, baby. Let's continue this. You may be the connector role. You know, the barber down the block who's always looking for ways to support the kids. You link him with the teacher trying to help or keep the after-school program alive. You know, the auntie from the church who cooks for everybody. You introduce her to the single moms struggling with meals. You become the bridge, the name dropper, the one who introduces and connects. Slowly, the block starts weaving itself tighter because you tied strings between people who never talked before. That web, that's community muscle. And here's the quiet part of galvanizing. You hold the mirror, not by screaming, but by being steady. People see you cleaning while they're walking by. They see you organizing while they're still shaking their heads. They see you consistent when they're inconsistent. And eventually, they reflect. They ask themselves, why am I just watching? And some will ignore it and some will step in. Some will change their behavior just from watching you model a different path. And that's power without a pulpit. And the most important piece, you don't wait for permission. No councilman's approval, no grant check first. No perfect conditions. You start with what you got. You put up your own flyer on a streetlight pole. You buy your own trash bags. You invite folks with your own voice. Because if you wait, nothing is going to move. But when you move, everything else starts shifting around you. Action attracts momentum like magnets. So step back and look at the chain reaction. One person shows up. One corner gets cleaned. One grill outfeeds 50. One Saturday turns into every Saturday. One story inspires 10 more. One connection sparks a program. One mirror makes people reevaluate their role. One movement. No permission slip, no waiting, just action. And that's how you galvanize. Not by screaming, follow me, Follow me, follow me. No, but by living so consistent, so undeniable that people can't help but join it. That's how funeral turns into mourning. That's how mourning turns into life. The hood don't need another funeral. It needs a spark. Change doesn't come riding in on a grant check or a politician's handshake. It comes from somebody who finally says, I'm not waiting. And that somebody can be you. One person is enough to shift the air if they move steady. You don't need 100 volunteers before you start. You don't need a little title before your name. What you need is presence. Show your face. Let the block know you, because a voice with no roots is just noise, and noise fades. Roots hold. Start with what's in reach. Maybe if it's your own stoop, your porch, your step, sweep it, paint it, make it shine like it matters, because it does. People are going to notice. Then maybe it's the lot on the corner that's been a dump site for years. You bring a bag, you bring a broom, you start picking up. Somebody walks by and asks, why? You say, because this space deserves better. That right there is contagious. Action makes people pause. It makes them think. And if they think long enough, they'll join. Food opens doors. A small grill, a folding table, a cooler of water. No agenda, no speeches. Just pull up and eat. People come because food is survival, and survival shared turns into connection. And once people are eating side by side, conversations spark. You hear what's heavy on their hearts. You hear ideals you never thought of. You hear laughter that's been buried under sirens. And that laughter, that's community waking up. Consistency is the secret ingredient. It's not about a big turnout. It's about showing up, whether it's 2 people or 20. Sweep the same damn lot. Host that meal again. Play that movie for the kids one Friday night. People respect rhythm. When they see you steady, they trust you. And when trust builds, momentum builds. And don't forget the stories. Too often, the only stories told about our neighborhoods are the ones that's drenched in blood and sirens. So flip that. Highlight the elder whose house that's been standing there for 50 years. Show off the team who made the honor roll. Record the moment the block comes together to clean, paint, and plant. Stories feed pride. Pride feeds belief. And the belief is the seed that changes everything. And while you're at it, connect the dots. The barber who wants to help the kids but doesn't know how. Link them with the teacher. Link them with the auntie. People got gifts sitting idly by because they don't know each other. So you be the bridge. And when you connect people, you weave a net strong enough to hold everybody. And most of all, don't wait for permission. Get your ego out of it, because it's not about your ego. Because that's the biggest trap. Folks are going to tell you to wait until some money comes in, until a leader signs off, until the conditions are perfect. But perfect never comes. Movement grows from what you have right now. You put up your own flyer. You knock on a neighbor's door. You buy the trash bags with your own money. And when people seeing you do it, some will doubt, some will watch. but many may join. And once it catches, it don't stop. This is how funerals stop being the headline. This is how mournings start belonging to us again. It doesn't take a whole army to begin. It only takes one person stubborn enough to stand in the middle of the block and live like change is possible. One broom, one grill, one steady rhythm, one spark. That's enough to make the whole hood catch fire with life. And that's it, and that's all. I'm done. I'm getting off my soapbox. I had to bring you that message. I know it was a trigger warning, but there's always hope. There's always hope. So don't give advice to people who are going through this. Refrain from that. Just be. Don't ask them what you can do. Show them what you can be. You feel me? All right, I'm done. Be well, stay safe. I say and deep bow to each and every one of you. And I'll see you around. All right. Stay blessed. Be a good friend. Better yet, be the one to galvanize a whole community. Ashe.
Time heals all things, and I know that I felt some type of way before, but I slowly feel it shifting at my core. Scars are fading, and the ghosts from the past don't haunt me anymore. The storm and rain washed away the pain that I endure. Just as the sun will rise each morning, just like the day returns to night without our sleep. I'm finally trusting in the knowing that time heals all things. Time heals all things. It's worth waiting for. Seasons changing, roads to explore. Now I can feel the ground beneath me. I walk a path and it appears with steps I take. Maybe one day things will come easy. What if the struggles placed me just to test my strength? 'Cause the pressure's on, I know a change is coming. It's getting later, surround your walls around me. Sure as the sun will rise each morning. Sure as